Danganronpa. Okay, audio's a little weird. Rightio. Right, hold on. Just get into a comfortable position. Okie dokie. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, I have to start this off saying I have to be really quiet. Like legit, it's 2:23 in the morning right now, and my parents are currently asleep. Like I shouldn't even be playing, but because I said I'd be playing, I decided, you know what, let me just play for like an extra half an hour. If anything, until I finish the class trial. Because, you know, better than leaving it to never, I guess. Anyways, so yeah, in the last episode, this is part 20 now, I believe, we found a dead body. And everyone's assuming it's Kyoko's body, but I keep thinking it's Mokuro's Ikusawa's body. But yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit quiet. I might or might not read, it depends. But I'll leave it long enough for everyone to read. The only reason why I don't want to read is because when I start reading I don't realise how loud I am. Literally, I didn't think I'd take so long in order to like deal with the cake. Not the cake, the pie. Oh my god. It's like, it smells good, but it just looks nasty as frick. I don't even know what to do. It's just, ugh. Anyways, I'm just gonna play about half an hour of the game, at least until 3 AM. Only because I need to wake up early tomorrow at around 11 AM, so at least it gives me about, you know, 7 hours, 8 hours sleep. That's good enough for me. But yeah, if it gets too uncomfortable for you guys in terms of me speaking really quietly, I can just mute and you guys can read and I just play. But obviously it really depends. It's just like I might not be able to talk a lot because it's so late. And if I have to be perfectly honest, I don't think I'd be able to do the class trial as well as I would have if I wasn't gone for like 2 hours. I know I said I'd be gone for an hour, but I ended up being like 2 hours and a bit. Yeah. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together, just the two of you? Huh? What, are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself. But we stood there for a full 5 minutes waiting for something weird to happen. Then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here? Or what?
What?
It sucks because whenever I see Monokuma, I just want to like read it crazily. Like I just want to be a crazy person when I read Monokuma. Like, I really love reading Monokuma. And the stream is being a doom. This is so nice. Is that better? Is it gonna actually stream? Okay, good. Jesus. Holy frick, I don't realize how loud my TV is. I'm gonna be so in trouble when they find out I'm still awake.
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like this? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. And I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us wait, right? If we agree it's a violation, I'll arrange punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. Let it be. Let it be, Kyoko. When we heard that voice, we all spun around.
hey,
Freaking told you guys. Oh my god, I'm actually happy just to see her, man. You don't understand. I'm here and no rules been broken. Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it in a class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that it's not particularly penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. You don't understand. She's my favourite from this whole series so far. Like, to see her die would crush me. That's why I didn't want her to die. I'm just like, no, I'm positive she didn't die. Anyways, hustle your butt onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us, huh? He's right, now we're gonna deal with a ghost. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we will do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we don't take too long. I'll be happy when the trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled in the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask. Where have you been this whole time? You used the key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came down. Just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
Sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then what's the key you found goes...
Wrong.
What is the... It says... if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to? Okay, actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry, before we get into trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial. Okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current
It
situation.
would seem...
Because it's probably a single most crucial moment so far for me. Blah. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So, why did she say it's crucial for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I slipped into the elevator. This is so bad, honestly so bad. The door slides shut. This time, the clunking was so loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In the dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After a miserable amount of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes, but it wasn't the illumination of hope. Ow! It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's go on with the show. And so the curtains opened for the 5th time. The deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Of course I want to say, what a stupid question. Okie dokie. Okay. You'll be fulfilling so many weirdo streams if you put this up on YouTube with all this ASMR. You don't understand. I'm already streaming onto YouTube. It's just a matter of guys finding it. No, I'm joking. Anyways, so in this class trial, you get bullets, and these bullets, these are the evidence that you find throughout the whole investigation. I just want to explain it to you, Lazarus, so you understand what's going on. All the evidence that you find are now called bullets, truth bullets. You use them to sort of counter anything someone says. If someone says something that seems out of place or not right, you can counter it with evidence that you've already found. All of these stuff doesn't really matter, but yeah, the truth bullets are really important. Skills, these can be earned through what's this? Steadies your aim a little. Lost in thought, increases time limit for each phase. Increases focus gauge by 2. Don't have enough. Okay, I need that. Anyway, so the skills you earn through befriending people, through the extra times, they're like in between moments where you can explore the school, you can get presents, and you basically, it's like, do you know, like in dating sims where you give presents to increase your friendship and stuff like that, except this one's not really romantic. It's more of a increasing your friendship unlocks your skills, and these skills you can use in your class trials. And obviously the class trials are trials to figure out who killed who, and hopefully this one will be good.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
There you go. Monokuma explains it. He explains the plot, the class trial for you. But yeah.
Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Holy fridge, I just realized I don't know the controls. Okay. Okay. Confirm advanced text, cancel, skip text, open handbook, auto mode, oh no.
Well then, Let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
Might want to learn those. Yeah, I need to learn the controls.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
You're no brain.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
You're no
There's a
brain.
limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Pretty sure we do. Monokuma told us. Monokuma says Kyoko wears gloves to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see. Yep, Monokuma.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
You're no brain.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way the corpse was Kyoko. If I don't prove right, we're going to be stuck here and the case won't move forward. And I don't have a choice but to... Oh, okay. 5 minutes, sprinklers, explore the body analysis. Tattoo on the right hand. The tattoo on the right hand will be it. Okay, let me see the controls. Aiming, silencer, concentrate, select truth bullet, fire flashback. I can't remember. I don't know what any of these do. Okay.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves for the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Something he said. What did he say? I know it, but I don't know I can prove it.
That
Because she-
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got...
What is the exploded body analysis? Recognition. Fake nails. Nobody fit. I just think it's a tattoo.
burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Oof. Very now. What's wrong? You gonna say something weird?
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before
This
the
is
explosion?
not gonna work.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Oh, shit.
Shoot!
Everyone's gonna come
That
after me. at this
Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
now. The fake nails?
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
You. Oh my frick. Look up.
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right?
Oh, you freaking genius.
It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
True, true.
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim?
Can't believe
First,
you
we
missed
need to
her for
figure
all
that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Identify the victim. Everything starts from here. Again, same ones. Alright, cool.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Tattoo on the right hand. That one's definitely it.
If Kyoko really...
Then who died?
There's gotta be... I don't think so.
The face... And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong.
I know.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
What? Wolf. Please be 4 letters. Okay, cool. Oh,
Now I understand!
right here.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
No, she's not.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
She was the ultimate soldier.
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba?
We legit just said she's the ultimate soldier who was a mercenary in Fenrir. You not listening?
She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Cool.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
If it even matters anymore.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
True.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
We never know. It might be suicide.
Get a hold
Like
of
last
yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Kyoko and I. Not me. Well, me maybe, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain.
Because we don't have alibis.
Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
Yeah, so the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it. I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
I love how this repeats all the obvious stuff over and over. Yeah, they do that just so it reminds us in case we actually forgot.
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
Was that 9?
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Kelly, you gave me a bloody heart attack. I freaking... Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I have to provide the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. Oh, that's gonna be hard. They're just giving the same ones because they want us to use their own arguments against each other.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Took place in a garden, right? If I remember, there's something that happens in... Oh yeah.
We
The sprinklers. Programmed every morning. Wait, it's impossible to change.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Hold on, let me read their chat again because I can't remember Jack. Okay, it says, you established a timer from the take 9 a.m. Doesn't have an alibi, and from 10 to 7:30 a.m. More than enough time to commit murder. That's what we fire at the 7:30 one.
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep. And
Yeah, from 10 up to 7:30.
Oh,
Shoot!
okay. I don't.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
I am so done.
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Send never information to it. Oh, he poured water in it. Oh, crap.
I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No, no, no! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. How can you say it wasn't the...
This should prove it.
Oh. Hi, Lavania. Welcome. Sorry, I'm a
Just
bit quiet
remember what the
today.
body was like after the explosion.
Celestia.
And you'll see why it
Ooh.
wasn't the sprinklers.
Celestia's a bit gone. I'm sorry about that. But, yeah.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was
Because...
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
No.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Hey, Shred, welcome. Oh my god. That's what I thought. You got it wrong. That's why the bottom half was wet.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
You didn't get it right. I find it funny that you didn't get it right. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone?
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Oh?
Huh? She did?
What reason?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
Yeah, but she doesn't seem like the type. The whole body will do it. Oh, Shred, look what she told me, you man.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
If they were murdered somewhere else.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
The top. The top.
I got it!
Holy
You're
frick,
talking
we're
about the
exposing
tarp,
ourselves.
aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have been must have touched the body, right? But the body.
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivation. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Isn't it the fact that they got stabbed and the blood was still fresh? Left the crime scene, body after explosion, when the body was found. Okay, I need to read these ammunitions because I don't know what these ammunitions are. Okay, 5mm.
Covering the body with the tarp.
I didn't even read it. Knife at
The killer
body
prevented
before the
it from getting
explosion.
wet.
It's a knife. Near the body. Explosion. Body before explosion. A mask knife. Stop bleeding, but it was still wet. No, however, there was no blood in the ground around it.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Ah, frick. I didn't read it.
Shoot!
Okay.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
There you go. That's
No,
what I was
that's
looking for.
wrong.
It should have been dirty. Honestly, when I played the game, I just based
Actually,
off the anime.
one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
I didn't know you could get rid of the purple lighting. What purple lighting? Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can fire at him, and they give you extra time. Hold on, be right back. Come on, police, get out of here. Come on. Polo, no. Are you kidding me? if you... Okay, I'm back. Let me just get back into my position. I have to wake up soon, so probably like get to bed soon. Okay, what did you guys say? Well, there was a lot of tutorials and I was kind of getting annoyed, so yeah. And I had it on PC, but I used the controller. Oh, okay. Jesus, the water's ending. My whole neighborhood's power just went out. What the frick? What is your neighborhood doing? If you put the toilet in that state, it would be really on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Oh, you're actually being so smart, Yasuhiro.
No, that's not what happened this time.
Oh?
The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
The chicken! The chicken, the missing chicken.
I got it! Could it have been
I really need to
chicken
finish
blood?
this one, then play the second, and then buy the third. The only reason why I'm playing this now is because I bought the third one, and I was like, I'm not gonna jump straight to the third one. I haven't even finished the first or second one, so that's why I'm like streaming this game. So yeah, I'm like trying to finish this as quickly as possible so I can get onto the second one, and then get onto the third one. Because at my rate, I'm probably never gonna play the third one, so it's just like, it's either play it or, you know, never.
What? Chicken blood?
when I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Yeah.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the
I'm not saying
scene
yet
so
that
they
as a
wouldn't be
healer, by the way.
spotted
I'm
walking
saying
around.
your t-shirt. Freaking hell.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
Oh no, it was wearing it as if it was put on while someone was lying down.
I think so.
No, it wasn't.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
I know! She's so freaking smart! I'm like proper fangirling. Earlier I was like proper fangirling when we found out she didn't die.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Oh my god. Fred, what's going on? Why is Kyoko coming after me for?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Oof. The suspicion falls back on me. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body has been added to the truth.
Well then, it looks like we're...
What's this guy's? Murder took place before the sprinkler turned on. Suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Later they removed the tarp. Suspect placed white coat on the body. This jacket had been previously treated with blood to make it look like the cops had been wearing it.
Back to square one.
Oh my gosh, I'm fangirling right now. Oh my gosh. Imagine.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
I'm done.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Sure, man, I'm done.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that we have a knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyways. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Kyoko's setting us up! Shrug! Kyoko's setting us up! Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it.
Couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Sorry, Makoto. I didn't know that. Okay. Nobody was found. Disguised dead body. Evidence.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
The knife...
There was a blunt hit to the head as well, if I remember correctly.
lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one. We gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
I've had fussing those things.
I was afraid of that.
Fragments
If
of
he did
body
have that knife
exploded body-
before...
Exploded body analysis. What's the exploded body analysis? Oh. No.
Then... that seals it! Makoto did it!
What's the disguise one? Is that the one we just got?
Just because I had the knife once,
Disguise.
that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
I don't
You
think-
took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible...
I'm not trying to figure out what anybody was found. No, but I don't think she died by being stabbed. What was the one that said... Oh, the Monokuma file. Okay.
Man, you are, Makoto.
I used the knife. There's no way.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, that seals it.
Look, just because I had the knife, that automatically...
Well,
Getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Are you? Yes, I am playing on PlayStation.
Shoot!
This one's so hard. I don't know why.
The knife we...
It's the same.
found
nobody
lodged
was
in the dead
found.
body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it! Just because I had that automatically...
Well,
getting stabbed is what killed her. So there's no question.
you took that knife.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto. The knife we found...
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
No, I don't get it. Yeah, this one's so hard.
Shoot!
Yeah, I'm gonna lose.
The knife we found
Fragment.
lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
Exploded body
I was
analysis.
afraid of that.
Fragments.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it.
Things.
Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well,
They're disguised.
getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
And I can't
So
get-
there's no question.
You took that knife.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We just established.
The knife we
That
found...
they
It's
didn't
the same
die
one. It
from
really
the-
is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it! Just because I had that
How did I
automatic...
forget?
Well,
We
getting
legit
stabbed
just
is what-
established this.
No, that's wrong.
Hey, Notso, welcome. I'm annoyed because we legit just established.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
Yeah, we legit just established that the blood was fake. It was chicken blood. I know, I'm so annoyed that I found it for the last minute. But yeah, it's like, legit just established that the knife was not what killed her. The blood that we saw that was fresh was from chickens. So it can't have been it. I'm so freaking dumb with myself.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
Maya.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, The victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
I got it!
Oh my god, I was meant to read
The
it.
Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
I'm so freaking done. I didn't remember what was on the Monokuma file, so I wanted to read it. But I pressed triangle instead of X. But thank god that was the right one. Just once. Just to be a... Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just a piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
To hide the identity. Wait, the only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. What? 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 I don't know.
Shoot!
Oh my god, guys, I only have one heart. I'm gonna die. Beyond recognition. Oh, well, GG. I'm gone.
Shoot!
Yeah, they're blaming me now. Oh god. What you do?
I refuse to give up yet!
I'll thank Fridge. Thank Fridge for that. Okay. So, okay.
I got it! The Monokuma file
Don't
clearly
die, no.
states that there was only one stab wound.
Welcome, some squirrel. Okay, hey, Shed. I was trying to figure out, like, because the explosion was so they didn't recognize it and to get rid
Oh
of
yeah,
evidence.
it sure did.
Right? It was to get rid of evidence and also to.
So they...
What's the...
If you bothered to put that lump...
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum...
I might be...
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her...
Oh, frick. Nope. Oh. I don't know. explosion was. I'm so confused. Maybe.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Shred, I don't understand. Why is it that? Why? Why? How does that relate to the explosion? Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Let me check. Okay, she says... I have a question. It kind of goes like, what's the deal with the explosion anyway? Why did the body blow up? I'm an idiot. I'm a freaking idiot. I read it as, why did they want to explode the body instead of why did the body suddenly blow up? Oh, freaking annoyed right now. Freaking 3 a.m. Pretty buddy.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Freaking didn't realize they were asking for the cause of the explosion, not freaking why they did it.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is
I
becoming
actually
more
didn't,
and more
Shred.
obvious
I
by
read
the
it
minute.
the wrong way. That's why I kept saying the identity, like they're trying to get rid of the identity, did I'm such an idiot. I don't understand how I read that so wrong. Well, that costed me a life. I don't usually die, but that wrong reading cost me my life. Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys. I think I might just end it here. Just end it now. Just move on. No more playing. You know what, I'm gonna try and get to the end of this at least. At least get to the punishment. The culprit's motive is being more and more obvious.
They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
Ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then
the Monokuma file, I have something in my head. Is stab a single time with a knife completely and been struck in the head with an object that is thick as a pipe.
And shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
Smart ass.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
Nope.
Then there's only one other thing.
No.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
One thing that could have killed her. All the chat saw nothing. Is good. Hypnosis at this phase. Monochroma file. It says what killed her. Also struck in the head. Was a cardigan which is at least several days old.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead.
Wait, what am I doing?
Dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
Oh,
And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
She wasn't just that, she was totally dead. Too right, bro.
Shoot!
Then, shall we continue the The victim's fatal injury has yet...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Oh,
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right?
No.
And then there's only one other thing.
All my bullets.
Oh yeah. According to the
Body before. What's the body before? Okay.
On a Kuma file? That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
She was hit in the back
the
of the
victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I can only think of one thing that could have killed her. What could have killed her? I would have thought the wounds would have been it. But then that would make it seem, that would mean she died ages ago. She was hit in the back of her head. Fatal injury.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Just trying to think. Okay, so she had countless wounds, hit on the head. But they were several days ago. Countless wounds. If the countless wounds were old, so would it mean the hit on the head was what caused the death?
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Wait,
Well,
that did
yeah.
And it wasn't because of the... Then there's only...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
Oh my god, that was too close.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't... Then there's...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot!
A contradiction. A contradiction. I'm just trying to think. The Monokuma file says exactly what they say. Summoned Havoc dead before the blast. You can stab a single time, like completely through the body, struck in the head with an object thick as a pipe. Covered with other wounds, but they were 7 days old.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't even...
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her
Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't even...
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be it! There was evidence that showed...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, that's wrong.
I got it.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Yes, that's what I meant. Because if she was hit, if she was killed with the what was it? They said she got a blow to the head, but they didn't say it was Aya's blow. And also, the injuries were several days old, which means if she lived through it, the head must have been the thing that got damaged to get her killed. I don't know. So maybe body before the explosion, but yeah.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
A thick
The
pipe.
Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Thick as a metal pipe.
Oh! I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Oh, look at them. They're having a little one-on-one.
I feel the same way! Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We do?
We already know?
We do? Oh. I mean, yeah, of course we do. I don't know.
I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Oh, for frick's sake, why are you always pointing at me as if I knew everything? Because apparently I'm meant to know. If they make me go through all of this, I won't know what the f he's talking about. Seems it's a related case, but no one can imagine how. No murder weapon. Oh, for frick's sake, serious. I don't have anything. The end of the knife, maybe? A blunt as titanium arrows, maybe? Like when you wrap it together with the duct tape? I don't know. This one?
I got it!
What the fuck?
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her.
Oh my god.
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right!
What are you two talking about? Who says romance is dead? I don't remember romance involving bashing each other's heads in. That's the joke, jeez. Good job. Alright.
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame you for dying because, well, oh wait, frick, what did she say? She's, are you sure that sounds kind of... An arrow? That's what the culprit attack Mukuro is? Oh yeah, that does sound weird. I'm just gonna bring up the tape thing. One more secret. Did that say... No. There you go. Bloody duct tape. Gimme, gimme, shimmy, shimmy.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right?
True.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master!
You're rude!
You have no right!
You're rude!
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound...
Well, it said the weapon must... It seems like
An arrow would just be...
There you go. Yeah.
No, that's wrong!
Yeah. Who's that?
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Were you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker...
And yep, we're ending it here, guys. The only reason why I'm ending it here is because we're not doing any extra, like, picking notes and stuff. Because if I continue any further, I have a feeling I won't sleep. And I need sleep. Because I have to wake up early tomorrow. I have to wake up at 9 or 10. Sorry guys, it's currently 3. I love leaving things on cliffhangers. Sorry Shred. Either it may be my day off, but I still have businesses and stuff to sort out. I have a driving lesson to attend to tomorrow, and I'd rather not be half asleep while I'm driving a car. I don't want to cause an accident. I'm sorry guys. If I don't sleep, I won't be able to do anything. If anything, I'll probably just stream tomorrow. I'll stream after I finish everything. I know. I'm rude with all the cliffhangers. Well, it's alright, because I'm actually about to finish it a little bit of the second one tonight. Shred, stream it so I can watch you play and I can just listen to it in the background. And then, like, when I play it, I can sound like a genius when I somehow know how to do it. DBZ level of cliffhangers. Oh man, this whole gameplay got me into playing it now. I'm glad, that's the whole point. I want everyone to get this game because honestly it's worth your time. Danganronpa is such an underrated series. Like, honestly, it's worth the money that you get. Like, if you get on the PS4, you get both 1 and 2 in one game for the price of one game. It's like so good. Yeah, I just want you guys to get it, whether it's on PC, PS4, or PS Vita. It's honestly such a good game. But yeah, guys, I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. The first because I'm way too far in, but I'll shoot the second one already. Yeah, go for it. I don't mind. I just want to see people play. Buy enough copies so Monokuma doesn't cost nothing. True. I bought all of the games on my PS Vita, and I have 1, 2, and 3 on the PS4, so I'm safe. Monokuma ain't coming after me. Anyways, but yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming to the stream. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't, comment down below saying why, and I'll do my best to improve it the next time I stream. If you want to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe. Also, if you are watching this as a past video, kudos for you for making it all the way to the end, because even I can't, deal with my own cringe. But yeah, thank you guys so much again, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.